This is me totally unprepared. We had some drama at the house just before the show went on, and so I had to delay things a little bit. But I'm back, and I got my earbuds in, and I'm ready to go. I'll tell you about the drama in a minute. A bizarre but rather lovable raccoon takes over the internet. I know, weird story to lead with, but what the hell? Two armed citizens credited for saving lives in Twin Falls, which is an incredible, incredible story. And a cat is a cat, no matter what the size. I'll show you the proof of that coming up. Welcome to the Jay Sheldon Show. Welcome to Monday. Yeah. Oh, man. Our little girl Miko, our Shiba Inu baby, who is 6 years old, 6.5, she had some problems with not I don't want to get too graphic, but she had blood in her feces. And that we looked it up, talked to Grok, and Grok said, "Don't screw around. Go to the vet, have it checked." So we did. My other half just got back. I stayed because I'm not very mobile these days. And so she's apparently fine, no infection, no fever. She weighs 16 kilograms. She's so fat. Oh my God. Anyway, they just got back from the vet, so I had to get a debrief and get updated on what was going on. So that's what was going on. She's fine. She'll be fine. No dangers, no fevers, no infections. So, mm. The best part, and by best I mean worst, is she has meds to take now. And this dog is the worst on the planet forgetting to take meds. Forget it. There is no way. We try mixing it with stuff, adding it to her favorite treats. She will know it's there and she will find it and she will not eat it. So, there you go. All right. Well, since we're on the subject of lovable animals, it is official. It's the official Jimothy Summer as a rather bizarre but lovable in some people's book, raccoon takes over the internet. This is, I had to put this up front because it was just so weird. When people first saw this guy, they wondered if it was some odd new species wandering into Seattle. Looked like a raccoon, and I got video coming up, I'll show you. But its hindquarters were not right. It didn't take long for online sleuths to determine that, in fact, it is a raccoon. But he suffers from a condition known as short spine syndrome, SSS. Well, that hasn't stopped him from becoming a major media star. Man's little raccoon's got more hits than I could ever dream of. Unique raccoon named Jimothy, with a rare short spine syndrome, roaming the streets, frightening locals with his unusual appearance. Take a look at this, and you'll see why people were a little concerned. Yeah, that's weird. It looks like an alien. What the hell is that? That's Jimothy. A raccoon named Jimothy has become a regular, beloved visitor in the backyard areas around Seattle, and he's living his best life. Here is his latest video. Let me play that for you. Jimothy the viral
What'd you
raccoon.
win?
How weird. That is just so strange. A lot of people wondered whether he's going to face tough odds for surviving because with that affliction, he'd be much more vulnerable to predators. Um, New video emerging suggests he may very well have actually been around for a while. There is a video, it's about just about 10 seconds, but this is Jimothy as a baby. Look at this.
You have the strangest body, buddy. Holy cow.
Look at that thing. That was when he was a baby. So he's survived all this time. This started back mid July. 33-year-old Seattle resident Kiana Hall spotted him, decided he needed a name, and one name came to mind almost instantly. She says, "What am I looking at?" In the footage she posted on Instagram, in the caption, she dubbed the creature Jimothy because he just looked like a Jimothy to me. I never heard that name in my life before. Anyway, Jimothy became an absolute overnight sensation. Harris's video racked up millions of views and prompted a wave of reported sightings by other area residents. Even unbelievably, the White House got involved. This was posted by the White House. Jimothy spotted on the way to Washington, D.C. What does that say? Trump was right about everything. Oh man, new footage posted online say a lot of people are theorizing Jimothy's father seems to be a guy who liked to have a good time, if you know what I mean. Jimothy's become the unofficial mascot now of Emerald City. Even local officials hailing the plucky little guy. Earlier this week, city council members issued an official proclamation honoring the viral raccoon. The summer of 2026 is officially Jimothy Summer. Seattle Council member Alexis Mercedes Rinnick declared. Is there a hero in this tale? Well, according to some, it's his mom and her fierce protection when he was younger. Untold hero in the story is his mother. You check out how protective she is over this baby Jimothy, in this newfound footage. It's amazing. Aww, aww. Keep on keeping on, Jimothy. Enjoy your summer. That is the story of the wacky raccoon. Hey, Marilyn. Glad all is well with Miko. Yeah, she'll be better. She'll be fine. It was important that she got checked just in case something wasn't fine. So, anyway, she's doing all right. And she's back home. So, all right. Cornell Brat. I love these stories. This brat, I mean, that's just simply the best name for it, refused to work with Jews and got a rather brutal life lesson from mom and dad. I hate giving this schmuck any attention at all, but this guy made headlines a few months back for refusing a summer job. Listen, this is why he refused. Because the company wanting to hire him was run by a pair of Jewish brothers. The kid's parents went absolute beast mode on him And that's worth a mention. The kid's name is Austin Franco. And this little brat is 19 years old, student at Cornell, who became internet infamous back in June because he turned down the summer internship at New York City company Ryfid because the co founders, Gabe and Aiden Ed Einhorn, were Jewish. And that's the only reason. The CEO, Gabe Einhorn, posted the sordid tale on X, said the job interview had been offered to Franco via the website Handshake. And Franco responded, quote, not interested in working for a Jew. Thanks, end quote. Franco responded to Einhorn's post by shamelessly doubling down on his hatred of Jews. Quote, my experiences with Jews has not been pleasant, both personal and online. That's not to say I haven't had positive experiences, but on the aggregate, that's not the case. Obviously, the reactions by your community only serves to further prove my point and indicate your post on X was not done in good faith. That's what he wrote. Now, if you're thinking, wow, his parents must be so proud, we'll get to that in a minute. Unbelievable, a GoFundMe was set up for Franco and it brought in nearly 20 grand, with the top donor dishing out 1,776 to support this anti-Semite. His career and financial futures at stake, I ask that you help fund a good Christian man, the fundraising page says. And a fool and his money, as they say. Well, it turns out the Francos were dismayed by their son's abhorrent beliefs and kicked him to the curb, threw him out of their Virginia house, said, you need to be out by August 1st. Good job, Franco's parents. Unbelievable. Dad Alexander's a Cornell alum, Pat lawyer. Diane, the mom, is a senior project manager for a banking regulations trade association. They told the Post they found their son's behavior reprehensible and believe he's fallen victim to dark influences online. And if you guessed that young Franco once again turned to the internet for money, you would be right. This time, Franco launched a fundraising page, painting himself as a victim of his parents' conventional life. Here's what he writes. Oh my God, this guy. I've reiterated that my parents don't share my views, and it seems they no longer wish to provide me with a home to live in. Maybe because you're a dick. I know the road ahead will be difficult, but this is the path I chose. I could have lived a more conventional life, as my parents did, and perhaps in a different time I would have. However, that's not the world we live in today, and because of that, I chose a different path than most. What, being a scumball anti Semite? He says, I don't regret anything I've done. If I were to die today, I would at least know that I did so believing in myself. Thank you, and may God be with you. That's his writing. Well, bravo to Mr. and Mrs. Franco for drawing a very distinct line in the sand with their woefully ignorant and misguided son. From all appearances, they provided him with all the privileges of a wealthy upbringing, the kind that most kids only dream about. He will very soon run out of other people's money, of course. He'll have to go crawling back to the bank of mom and dad, clearly, because he won't be able to hack it in the real world. And when he does, if I were mom and dad, I would just remind him that their branch doesn't do business with anti Semites. What a piece of, honestly, honestly. And you thought we were done with Anthony Fauci? Au contraire, mon ami. It ain't over. Another state. What is that? I have this really weird Spanish thing in my headphones, and I have no idea what it is. How strange. All right. Another state is coming for Fauci after his unbelievable, disastrous Fifth Amendment fest in the Senate. Like Joe Biden's infamous 2024 June debate performance when he exposed himself to the world of being completely incapable of continuing his presidency, the former chief medical advisor to this oatmeal brain president, Dr. Fauci, and his non testimony at Wednesday's Senate hearing may go down as one of the quickest and harshest fall from grace in recent history, certainly. Although people with brains knew a long time ago that the Fibbin doctor was a fraud, severely mismanaged the pandemic, made a mockery of the Constitution while chasing ever more fawning news coverage. It's all about me. Ruined countless lives. Mainstream media, gullible leftists continue to trust him as some kind of godlike, infallible creature. Creature's right, but the rest isn't. Well, that mask got ripped off when he pleaded the fifth over 100 times, flat out refused to answer any substantive questions. That, despite getting a pardon from Joe Biden and his auto pen on the last day in office. But that doesn't mean that Fauci is out of the woods. I love this. Florida and Alabama now are investigating him on a state level. And now, surprise, surprise, Louisiana is jumping on board. Sorry, Doc, your pardon won't help you when it comes to the states. Fauci lied. Louisiana and Missouri deposed Dr. Fauci. At the time, he claimed he didn't recall a lot of key details of his own actions, and now we're discovering contemporaneous records he kept. Louisiana going to join Alabama and Florida in investigating Fauci and whether he committed any other offenses that could be pursued in state courts. Louisiana Republican Governor Jeff Landry on board with the state attorney general Liz Morelli's efforts to hold Fauci to account. Florida Attorney General James Olfmeyer also going after Fauci. Go get him, Florida, Louisiana, Alabama. It is way, way past time that this menace of an alleged doctor pays the price for what he did to this country and to you and to me and to your family, every last one of us. Meanwhile, this whole fiasco reminds us of one thing. Joe Biden proved that his blanket pardon, that he was an ethics-free president. He had none. Unfortunately, no signs he'll be accountable, except maybe in the history books. But they're going after Fauci, and we are loving it. Get him. Let's go after some blackout coffee right now, huh? How about it? Oh, yeah, blackout coffee. It's all done in house. They source premium specialty grade green coffee beans. They're rated at 80 points or above on a 100-point scale. And they're grown in the best soil, the perfect altitude, the right time of year, harvested at just the right time. Blackout Coffee works with local co ops and American farmers to grow these beans. And they've got all kinds of roasts. If you can't grind your own beans, no problem. All their popular roasts, you can a little pull down menu, and you can go ahead and get them ground for you by Blackout before they ship them out. They only roast your beans once you place your order. It's a small batch roasting process, which makes a big difference. And then they ship them out within 24 to 48 hours. Try a bag. Go over to Blackout Coffee, use the link in our description, pull that down, you'll see it there, and just try a bag. Find your favorite roast. My favorite's the pitch black espresso. It is incredible. Never bitter, always full flavored, full coffee flavor, rich, unbelievably good. Never ever bitter. Blackout Coffee. Use the link in our show notes, and if you're a first-time customer, you use the code J20, JAY20. That'll get you 20% off your first order. And over there, they've always got specials going on all the time. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me just pull them up right now. Take a look at what's happening over there at Blackout Coffee. There you go. Look at that. Brutal Awakening. That's a good roast, too, by the way. Hey, they've got a coffee club, which you sign up for a subscription. You can cancel anytime. You can change your preferences, your roasts, and all. Not a problem. Check this out: premium coffee sample pack and a flavored coffee sample pack. Great way to get introduced. Prices are reasonable. And, folks, this coffee, I will never drink another brand in my life, no matter what. Sponsor or not, seriously, it's just that good. Mm. I, enough about. Thank you, John. John Santos and the gang over at Blackout Coffee. We love you guys. I'm sure by now you heard about the Twin Falls, Idaho mass shooting. It was a nightmare. Scary stuff. Well, two armed citizens are being credited with saving a ton of lives in Twin Falls, Idaho's mass shooting. This newly opened Twin Falls, Idaho In-N-Out restaurant Saturday afternoon was the scene of the shooter, which there is videotape of a scene opening fire, including at or near a parked Tesla vehicle. Do we? Yes, we do. All right, here's that footage of this guy actually starting to shoot here.
My question.
Damn. What a piece of crap. Unbelievable. As seen on that video, what appeared to be this armed citizen trying to engage the shooter. Do we? Yeah, we do have that video. This is a citizen who just was at the mall or at the In-N-Out and happened to be armed. And so he's actually fighting back against the shooter. He's very small in the background. You have to look close. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Law enforcement officials at a press conference yesterday afternoon, they shared the 3 people were killed, 7 were injured. Recently opened restaurant in the southern Idaho city, population about 56,000 people. Authorities said Sunday 2 of the injured were treated at a hospital and released, 3 listed as stable, 2 in critical condition. The victims' names have not been released pending notification of the families. But In-N-Out president Lindsay Snyder confirmed that one of those killed was an employee at the Twin Falls location. She also indicated some customers may have been among those killed. Twin Falls business North Star Taxi said it closed the next couple days after one of their drivers, Terry Dudley, shot during this incident. He's a victim of a mass shooting. He's alive, but has a very long road of recovery ahead of him. Man. Chief Hicks credit two others, an armed off-duty state trooper and an armed citizen, for helping save lives by actively engaging with the suspect, who is 24-year-old Chad Williams. Hicks said he died from a self-inflicted gunshot. Good. Saves us a lot of time and money. But the chief made a special mention about these incredibly brave people that decided to take a stand and fight back.
Reviewed by the Jerome Police Department. More information about that incident will be forthcoming in the days to follow. At this time, we can confirm that the suspect, 24-year-old Chad Williams, is deceased from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Investigators are continuing to review the incident timeline, process evidence, and conduct interviews.
Manischewitz. Unbelievable. Investigating into that shooting, possible motives or whatever motive the whack job might have had is continuing. Hicks indicated the suspect's family is cooperating. So it's a developing story. It happened yesterday, but man. Do you remember we told you the story about the Catholic nuns who were fighting back against the New York assisted suicide law? Remember that story? I think we did it last week. Well, guess what? They have scored a temporary win in their battle. A group of Catholic nuns and healthcare ministries got a temporary court win Thursday in their challenge against New York's physician-assisted suicide law. 4-page filing, the Empire State agreed to a temporary restraining order by Biden-appointed Judge Ann Nadachi that momentarily bars government officials from enforcing this contested statute against the Catholic challengers. Directive going to remain in effect as Nadachi considers the plaintiff's motion for emergency relief and the state's cross motion to dismiss the complaints. Now, the plaintiffs, Catholic nuns and healthcare ministries, say that law, in conjunction with the state's Palliative Care Information Act, conscripts even religious healthcare providers and institutions to take part in the provision of physician-assisted suicide. They claim these statutes provisions violate their First Amendment rights because they require medical providers caring for terminally ill New Yorkers to proactively inform and counsel their patients about the option to kill themselves, which of course is completely at odds with the Catholic Church teachings. So they're fighting it. They got a temporary injunction. Thank God for that. No pun intended. But, man. Michigan, another win for our side after the SCOTUS ruling. Michigan has agreed to end talk therapy ban for gender-confused kids. Oh, here we go again. The Democrat-run state of Michigan agreed Thursday to end its prohibition on licensed therapists providing counsel to children struggling with issues related to sexual orientation and gender dysphoria. This is a major victory for kids, counselors, common sense. Luke Goodrich, senior counsel at Beckett and lead attorney for the counselors, said in a statement, "Kids who are hurting deserve compassion, not a one-way ticket to harmful drugs, hormones, and surgery. Now counselors can offer compassionate counseling without fearing the state bureaucrats will come a-knocking." Known as the Catholic Charities v. Whitmer, the case dealt with several Michigan-based counselors' challenge to state laws that barred them, completely disallowed them from engaging in talk therapy with minor clients facing discomfort with their sex. The challengers argued that such a prohibition violates their First Amendment rights, and the court agreed. Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals handed the plaintiffs a favorable ruling in the case last year, substantially followed by the Supreme Court's Chiles v. Salazar decision. High Court ruled that a similar Colorado law violates speech based on viewpoint, and the lower courts erred by failing to apply sufficiently rigorous First Amendment scrutiny. So, the case goes on, but so far, so good. Both parties agreed to the stipulated order, final judgment, that prohibits Michigan from enforcing the talk therapy ban against counselors in the state. Another win for our side. I love it. Did you see RFK Jr. steamrolling over Dana Bash on CNN? We did, and we're going to show you that coming up in just a bit.
When you choose Patriot Mobile, you're not just picking a wireless provider. You're choosing a company that shares your values. It's easy to switch, and you can keep your number, your phone, and most importantly, your values. With Patriot Mobile, you get the power of nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks. That means wherever life takes you, we've got you covered on the same reliable networks you already know and trust. And when you need us, we're here for you right here at home. Our customer service is 100% US-based because we believe that support should come from people who understand you and your values. At Patriot Mobile, you're not just another call, you're a priority. In today's world, where you spend your money matters more than ever, every dollar is a vote for the kind of future you want to build. Join the thousands of Americans making a difference with every call, every text, and every connection. Choose a company that shares your values. Choose Patriot Mobile.
PatriotMobile.com/J. The link is down in our description. Folks, when you're going to pay your mobile bill every month, make sure that money is going to a company that supports the causes you and I believe in. Their U.S.-based customer support is fantastic. I've had all kinds of our viewers sign up and report back to me that they were wonderful. They helped them out with a plan. They're there to put you in the best plan for your budget. You keep your phone. You keep your phone number. Nothing changes except where your money goes every month. And if you sign up using our link, which is in our description, just easy to remember, PatriotMobile.com/J. Jay. You'll get your first month free. Yep, your first month is on me if you get signed up with Patriot Mobile. PatriotMobile.com/J. All right, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. obliterates CNN's Dana Bash during a very fiery interview yesterday on the State of the Union. It was brutal. The segment aired as measles outbreaks tore through several states, public health officials warning that unvaccinated communities were fueling the spread of the disease to levels not seen in decades. Well, those outbreaks all trace back to Joe Biden's presidency when his administration allowed millions of illegal immigrants to pour across the southern border, and they all brought all kinds of nasty bugs and diseases with them, like measles, back into the community. The communities that had all but wiped out measles. Bash spent much of the interview pushing Kennedy to look into the camera and tell parents to vaccinate their kids against measles. Kennedy did it. He said exactly what she wanted him to say, and then Bash kept going. And the interview kind of went off the rails. The conversation curdled into a fight over how the media treated skeptics and anybody who dared question the Biden admin's COVID era public health bullshit guidelines during the pandemic. Bash opened with an accusation. She says, "You're the HHS secretary, and you're talking about things that lead to vaccine hesitancy to this country. And then it's something that causes problems for people when there is not anything." Well, good old Kennedy was not having it. He said, "Let me tell you something. Do you see your job as ending vaccine hesitancy? Or do you see your job as telling the truth to the American people?" She insisted her job was telling the truth. There's study after study, she said. It's one of the most studied things out there in science. And Kennedy pounced. Quote, "You're repeating it like a parrot." So Bash fires back, "So are you." And Kennedy wasn't buying that either. "I've actually read the science," he said. "You don't want to come back here and debate the science." This is glorious.
You are the HHS secretary, and you are talking about things that lead to vaccine hesitancy in this country, and it is something that causes problems for people when there is not anything.
Let me ask you something. Do you see your job as ending vaccine hesitancy, or do you see your job as telling the truth to the American people?
I see my job as telling the truth, and the truth is that there is study after study after study. It's one of the most studied things out there in science.
You're repeating
and it is
like a parrot. You're repeating it like a parrot. I've actually read the science. Let's come back here and debate the science.
I'm not debating this with you.
Of course you won't.
No, because I'm not debating.
All you know how to do is repeat things that people told you and say, trust the experts. That's what you did during COVID. Now we know that Anthony Fauci, who was the expert, was lying about everything, about masks, about social distancing, about natural immunity, about the transmission from the vaccine, about the source of COVID. He was lying, and you were punishing people for not trusting the experts. And now you're rolling out the experts again to talk about something that you have no personal knowledge of.
Okay, well, guess what? That is my job, to talk to people.
Your job is to tell the truth to the American public.
Yes, and my job is to get as much information as I can.
And to maintain what we were doing skepticism.
What we were doing in COVID and still, with regard to these vaccines, is getting the best information, the best science that we can, and putting it out there. And, sir, what you are doing is causing information to be out there that is not accurate.
And you wonder, if Bash thought she could throw a bunch of accusations against Kennedy and he would just sit there quietly, she was sorely mistaken. Kennedy did not dodge a single question. He turned every one of them into an indictment of the press corps, CNN especially, that has spent years demanding blind obedience and calling it science. Well, that ain't working anymore. Oh, man. Do you know that Abraham Lincoln is the president responsible for Thanksgiving? Yeah. Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday. And now, this absolute knucklehead moron, you may know her as she is Francesca Hong, wants to cancel Thanksgiving. No, I'm not kidding. Here's the goofball. Cancel Thanksgiving, she posts on X. Should have been done in 1621. That's the resurfaced message from Wisconsin Democrat gubernatorial candidate Francesca Hong as she closes in on the Democrat nominee. Oh, they're going to love her. She called the celebration of colonialism and described the first feast as deadly super spreader event. That post may very well have faded into the fog of the pandemic era anger if Hong were just another Madison Avenue activist. Conservative podcaster Stephen Miller flagged the post, quoting a single word back to her, FOLX. Miller posted on X, noting the term used to signify inclusivity of LGBTQ and other groups. Another shared account said Hong is all but certain to be the Democratic nominee for governor. God help us. Thanksgiving message was not the only old post that resurfaced. Hong is closing in on the nomination, facing a mockery over her 2019 tweet about a Wisconsin fast food shop. She said, I ate 2 bites of my kid's cheeseburger at a Culver's in Black River Falls and told him they ran out of ice cream, mostly just because we wanted to leave. I was on the verge of an anxiety attack. Too many old white people who didn't think we spoke English. This is the woman who will likely be the Democrat candidate for Wisconsin's governor. Well, ain't that nice? Oh, man, you're going to get what you play for. Good and hard. All right, we're going to wrap up with one quick piece of video. And I love this caption. It's exactly right. It says, a cat is a cat, no matter the size. Watch this. That is so cute. Oh, man. Trying to get a better view. All right. Miko's well. Thank you for asking, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Thanks for popping by. Be sure and head over to some of our sponsors, make a purchase. You want to make a donation, you can do that too. Our PayPal link is there. It's safe and secure. You can use your bank card or your bank account and send us some cash to keep the lights on and keep the show free. We appreciate that very much. We don't have a marketing budget around here, so every bit helps. I will be back again tomorrow for the Tuesday edition. Enjoy the rest of your day.